Hey, we're here with Kalvin, Luke, and their father Keith, and we're going to ask them a few questions about their racing career. So Kalvin, we'll start with you. How old are you?
I'm 14.
And what series do you race in?
Oh, I'm in K100 Junior right now.
Okay.
But I just moved up from 206 to K100.
And how long have you been racing?
This is my second year. Last year was my first year, but I started off in rentals down there, like doing the rental leagues and stuff. And that's kind of how I got into it.
Have you always had a desire to race?
No, not always. I mean, I've always liked cars and I've always liked racing, but I never really pursued it until like a year or two ago, because I didn't know much about it.
Yeah.
So I just like kind of stuck to it normal sports like football and basketball. But now that I found racing, it's just something that I really enjoy.
Tell me when you first realized that you had a desire to race, that you loved racing.
So the first time I realized I wanted to race, I was watching an F1 highlights video in class, and I wanted to figure out how they got into it, and I looked it up. I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I went down to the rental car track, and I looked up and asked, do y'all have a league or something, or how can I get into this? And they told me about how they have a league, and I started doing the rental league racing, and then eventually we moved up into the Kart with that cart over there. And it took us kind of a while to get into it, to get like really fully into it, but now we're here, now we're
Okay, cool. So did you do a full season last year, or is this your first full season?
Last year I did do a full season. I did almost a full season. We took some breaks here and there, but almost a full season.
So how'd you do your first season?
I say my first season was pretty successful, considering it was my first season. So my first race in Fort Park, I had to go up with the seniors, and I finished like 5th or 6th out of 10.
Cool.
I feel like that was pretty good. Yeah, my second race we did Houston, and I didn't do too well. It was a challenge for me, but I really enjoyed it, and I learned a lot from it, so that I can continue to do it now. And from there we did a few races in Biloxi. I finished first and second and third and things like that. And then we did a final race in Daytona in 4-stroke. And in the final race I did really good. In the heat races I was doing good. Like I got knocked back all the way down to last, and then I kept making my way back up and caused me through the field. So I would say my first year.
Good. What are you looking forward to the most this season?
Well, currently I'm looking forward to Texas, again, Speed Sports, and maybe Orlando and Scooping. Because now we have K100, we can do more big national events, and I really like K100, and I like the fact that we're able to do a lot more. I'm happy about that.
Cool. If there's another kid watching this video right now that are thinking about getting into motorsports, what would you tell them?
I would say definitely give it a try, but do your research on it first. But and if it's something that you really enjoy, definitely don't really hesitate, because it's my first time in probably it was really fun.
Cool.
I'd say that.
All right, awesome. Thank you. Luke, so how long have you been racing?
This is my first year.
This is your first year. Okay, awesome. You look the part. You look like you've been racing your whole life. How old are you?
9.
You're 9? And what league do you race in?
Michael Smith.
Okay. What do you like about racing?
It's pretty fun and we can go fast.
You like going fast? When did you first realize that you liked going fast?
Maybe when you started walking.
I saw you walking around the paddock. You weren't going slow. So, Dad, tell me about your experience as a dad and having kids in motorsports.
So it's been quite the experience. The high highs and the low lows. the time that we have been able to spend together has been a bonding experience for father and son. Experiencing those highs and low lows. You know, you never want to see your kid cry or lose, so to say, but it's part of a life lesson. You know.
Yeah.
And it's been quite a joyful ride.
Have you ever been into motorsports before?
I have not.
You have not.
I was never really exposed to this coming up. So being that they're exposed to this, I figure you limit to your exposure. So if you're exposed to it, you might as well go for it.
Right. Yeah, that's my experience. That's why I have this YouTube channel, is because I was never exposed to motorsports when I was a kid, and I lacked confidence as well, and I didn't start racing until I was in my late 30s, and I look back and it's like, where would I be today if I would have been exposed to this at an early age, and somebody would have helped me get the confidence that I could have done it.
Unlike other team sports, this is a team sport.
Yeah.
But when you get out there on that track, it's one person, you know, so it's you against them.
Right.
And you know, you want to play fair, you want to finish safely, but obviously it's a competitive sport and you want to win.
Right.
So that definitely has the potential to build confidence.
Right.
You know, especially give these kids the confidence at an early age to be whoever they want to be when it's that time.
Right.
Whether it be an interview or someone speaking in public, or just out there, you know, doing this professionally at some point. It's definitely a confidence builder.
Right. What other skills would you say that a kid in motorsports are building?
Responsibility, accountability, what it takes to work, the hard work, dedication, commitment. Those skills and characteristics, I think, is second to none. You know, and you stand to build those in motorsports. You know.
Okay, very good. If you had anything to tell a kid or a parent of a child that's thinking about getting into motorsports, what would you tell them?
I'd say if it's in your reach, stretch out and make it happen. You know, it does cost. There is some upfront overhead that comes with it, but it's an investment. You know, it's definitely an investment in the kids, and it'll pay off in the long run, whether they become professional drivers or not. It'll definitely pay off in the long run. And I'd say if the kid has a desire to do it, you know, go for it. So Darren, his coach, always says we're kind of backwards. You know, typically it's the parents pushing the kids. In our situation, it's the kids pushing me. You know, we've taken on hobbies that I thought that he was, you know, passionate about before. So when he got into this, I was like, we kind of got to see. So I kind of tiptoed in it, and you know, because it costs, you know. So I wanted to make sure that he was sure that this is what he wanted to do. And when I saw him, you know, being serious and taking it, you know, seriously and putting forth his time and effort, is something that, you know, I eventually got on board with. You know, so definitely don't stifle that, and you know, encourage that growth.
Right.
You know, encourage the growth.
Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to add on to something that you said earlier about being confident and having aggression. When I first started, I wasn't too confident in myself in the kart, and he was always telling me, "Why are you not being aggressive? Why are you not being aggressive? Why are you not being aggressive?" And at Daytona, last year in December, so 2022 in December, was probably the time that I felt like he was the most proud of me in racing, because I was being very aggressive, and I wasn't making dumb moves, but I was letting people know that I was there and I was ready to pass, and I felt like he was very proud of me, even though I didn't. I felt like that was probably my favorite.
Cool. Good. Yeah, as parents, we just want you to do your best, to put forth effort. Don't be lazy, and do your best, and that's all we can ask. So, awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Anything else you'd like to add?
I appreciate you, man. Appreciate the interview, man.
All right. Very cool. Very cool.